2013!
Hi, I'm Patrick. Welcome to The Broken Record. I'm going to tell you some of my favorite albums that have come out this year so far. It's been a crazy year for music. I mean, we've had returns from My Bloody Valentine and all kinds of other bands like Daft Punk, who haven't made an album in years, have suddenly been like, hey, we're gonna make an album. So one of my favorites from this year was Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap. It's just a really weird kind of out there album with a really out there voice that I think he brings across the acid rap sound. Another one that I really loved was Kanoko Tioku, that her album Eureka. It's actually a group. They do a lot of post-punk, noise rock kind of songs, but also have this pop feel to them. Another one is Stone Titans Scratch and Sniff. It's this really just heavy, abrasive album that just feels like a big concrete block on top of you. It's really almost a little repetitive, but the sound itself works so well that I really fell in love with it. Another one is Mr. Mother Effin' Esquire's album Kismet. He's a rapper from New York that's kind of built up some hype, and his album Lost in Translation came out 2 years ago, I believe, and it was really good, but it had a few problems. But once he came out with this one, all the problems just melted away. The beats are eerie at times. It can also be just straight up trap. It's just a great mixtape. Number 6 would have to be Bass Obsidian. This one I did not like at first, actually. It took me a few listens, but one day I was just sitting in my car driving around and it came on and it just clicked, and once it clicked, it just really stuck with me, and I love this album. The really eerie and almost sad atmosphere it gives you just sticks with you so well. The lyrics are a little off, but they work well with the atmosphere that brings across. Alright, the next one is Deafheaven's Sunbather. Now this one caused a little controversy in the black metal scene because people were going, oh, this isn't black metal, this is black gaze was a term I heard going around a lot, which is a really weird term. It's an album that really has a lot of passion behind it, and it switches well between the really heavy and abrasive metal sound and the really quiet and almost calming post-rock sound. The thing that really makes it is the harmonious guitars that just play back and forth with each other. You'll hear a really loud black metal strum, but in the background there's this really light and airy guitar going on. The next one is Grouper, A Man Who Died in His Boat. Now this one is really near and dear to me because Grouper is one of my favorite artists of all time. I got the pleasure of seeing her in Caribou, North Carolina, and her music is just very quiet and almost calming. It's just very her bringing you into her universe. You kind of just get engrossed in her emotions. It's just a really moving experience. This one is B-Sides from Dragging a Dead Deer Up a Hill. Now, it's B-Sides, but it doesn't feel like the same album. It feels like something completely different. It really kind of makes the album. Number 3 is Ice Age, You're Nothing. It goes from just noisy, in-your-face punk to really just kind of groovy post-punk. It's a really unique experience, and it's kind of turning punk on its head right now because everyone's going, is this what punk could be rather than just loud, abrasive in your face? It can also be this really different sound it's got going on. Number 2 is Run the Jewels, Run the Jewels. Now, this is an album that I've played over and over, and as soon as I heard it, I fell in love with it. It has 2 of my favorite MCs that are really pioneers right now, Killer Mike and LP. Their styles work really well together because Killer Mike has a very hardcore hip-hop, in-your-face, you know, wanna go do a drive-by kind of sound. Kids, don't do drive-bys, it's not good. LP has a really technical, very lyrical style that works very well with his sound and voice, and together they just meld and create some of the best hip-hop I've heard this year. Now, my all-time favorite of this year is Dirty Beach's album Drifters, Love is the Devil. This is a double LP. They have the first half, Drifters. It's really dark. It has this kind of rock vibe to it. The thing that kind of sets it apart though is it all sounds like it's being recorded inside a trash can, which sounds bad, but in its style it works very well. And then Love Is the Devil, he's mentioned, is the most emotional part of the record. It's about 6 tracks long. They start off kind of really experimental and they sound very sad, but towards the end it almost has the Caretaker vibe to it, very old sounding, very 1940s. It creates just a great atmosphere and emotion that I keep coming back to over and over. And I think it's going to be one of my favorite albums of all time even. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I make more videos in the future. Like, subscribe, comment!